Welcome to my madness, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to be taking a look at this figure right here. This, of course, is the DC Direct Return of Superman, Superboy, or Connor Kent, or whatever you want to call him. This is the original 90s version of Superboy. And as you can see there, I paid $25 for this figure and had original sticker price of $12.99. So I paid roughly double what it originally sold for about 10 to 15 years ago, give or take. Can't remember exactly when these came out. Now, I have another figure from this set, of course, that being the black suit or recovery suit Superman. They've got Eradicator, they've got Steel as well in this wave. Also in the second wave, they did some other figures, including Cyborg Superman, which I want to pick that up as well, because I really like what they did with the Kryptonian life suit or recovery suit Superman. I've got that, and I really wanted to pick this up as well because I love that figure so much. When I saw this one at my local shop, I thought, you know what, we're going to grab this one as well. But enough talking, let's go ahead, jump right in. We're going to crack this guy open, see what we've got, and see if this is something that is still worth it for a modern collection. All right, so we've got him out of the package here, and dude, it just looks perfect. This is like a perfect 90s Superboy. You know, I had the McFarlane one for a while before I dumped all my McFarlane figures, and it just, you know, it was kind of a modernized version of that 90s look, and it wasn't right. It just didn't look right. This looks right. This looks like what Superboy looked like back in the 90s. From the cuffed gloves, the boots, you know, the proper leather jacket. We've got the raised emblem there on the back. You know, you got the sunglasses that actually seemingly fit on his face, McFarlane. The proper haircut. He only comes with sunglasses and then, of course, a red embossed stand. But dude, this is just the perfect look for Superboy. This is what he looked like in the 90s back in the comics. And that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted, and that's what you get with this. Now, as far as articulation goes, again, DC Direct, for all intents and purposes, pretty crap articulation. So you've got the back and forth there. You do have thigh swivels on this one, single jointed knees. He does have tilt there on the ankles. No waist or, you know, any sort of torso articulation at all. He does have a little bit of a ball joint there that comes up a little bit, not much. He's got bicep swivels, and then single jointed arms that don't do much. They come up to that. That's it. And then he's got rotation there at the cuffed glove. Head is technically on a ball joint, but all you're going to get out of it is rotation. There's not really much more than that. But, you know, very, very basic articulation. So you're not buying this for the articulation. Honestly, you're not buying any DC Direct figures for the articulation. You're buying them for the sculpt and the deco and the paint and that kind of thing, and the fact that they tend to be really, really comic book accurate. That's the point of buying DC Direct. That's why I'm buying them, and I'm getting exactly what I want here for that. So, yeah, absolutely, for my purposes, this thing is absolutely perfect. Let's go ahead, throw some other figures up, do some comparisons, and see how he's going to stack up with any kind of 6-inch scale DC collection you might have. All right, so first up, to put him up with the figures that I'm going to have him displayed with, so we've got the Superman Kryptonian life suit from this same wave, and then we've got my custom Doomsday that I made out of a McFarlane figure, one of the few McFarlane figures I still have left. And I'm going to build up a kind of a Death of Superman / Return of Superman display for my shelf, so he's going to go on that shelf with these two guys right here, and I think he looks great. Looks absolutely perfect, just as I would want him to look for this display. All right, so if you're thinking of putting this guy in with any Mattel versions of your DC characters, on the left, we've got the Mattel DC Multiverse Dark Knight Returns Superman. On the right, we've got the DC UC from Mattel, Cyborg Superman. And he's appropriately shorter than both of them, as he should be. And even though the style here, you know, we've got kind of a Frank Miller-esque, you know, style here versus traditional DC UC styling there. I mean, as far as size and scale and stuff like that, he still works, even though the style is different. So, I mean, if you wanted to put him in a display, I think it would still work. And then, of course, just to compare him with some import stuff and then some other lines from DC Direct. On the left, we've got a DC Direct. I don't remember which line it's from, but this is a Superman buck they had used many times. I think he looks really good next to this Superman. And then, of course, we've got Steel from Mafex, which again, like, he looks perfect next to this Steel. I think it works with either one, so if you want to do, you know, kind of mix and match with your lines to find the best of the best, you know, your favorite Superman, your favorite Steel, your favorite Superboy, I think this Superboy works with that. All right, so we already talked about price here at the beginning of the video. I paid 25 bucks for this thing, and like I said, anything in the $20 to $30 range is going to be the equivalent of what you're going to pay at retail. If you can get a figure, even an older figure like this, new in package, I think it's worth it. So yeah, I think this thing's worth it. I think it goes in with a lot of different, you know, DC collection stuff, whether it's from DC Direct or Mattel or whatever. Obviously, it's not going to fit in with your McFarlane collection if that's what you collect, because, you know, those are all 7-inch scale figures. But outside of that, I mean, look, the sculpt and the paintwork and just the details on this guy, even though the articulation is lacking, everything else on this thing is spot on and absolutely perfect. If you are a 6-inch scale DC collector, this is a perfect action figure for you. I mean, it really is. I mean, especially if you're doing like a Death of Superman, Reign of Superman, Return of Superman display, any of that, or combined all into one, this is a great action figure to throw on your shelf. It's gonna look fantastic. It's probably, dare I say, the best looking, you know, 90s Superboy era figure that I have seen. And the fact that he is appropriately scaled to work with a bunch of different lines just makes it that much better. So absolutely, I think it's worth it. I think if you're a 6-inch DC collector, you're gonna think it's worth it too. Would love to hear what you guys think in the comment section down below. That is it. I appreciate you watching, and always remember to enjoy your collection.